That is the title. I may have to work on that intro. That's a lot. That's a lot of intro. I don't think I need all that intro. Hello and welcome. My name is D. Let's make sure that people can hear me. I hope that you guys can hear me. So go live. This is an impromptu live. Did not plan on doing this tonight for you, but I'm hoping that, since I'm here and I feel like the time is now, let's go, right? So my D, this is D Helps Vets, I think it is. Let's see if I can get some rifles to be fair title, but I don't know how fast it's really working today. So what's up? My name is D, and I am a 100% PT rated veteran, and I live in Thailand. And right now it is 12 p.m. I'm guessing where you're at, it's a little bit earlier than that. I am in the future. I am from the future. So welcome. I really did not have a ton of topics to talk about tonight. I don't think I'm going to sit here too long, but I did want to come online because I know this is one of those times when, if you're up and listening, more than likely you're a veteran. And so here at D Helps Vets, my goal, my mission is to make sure that every veteran gets the rating that they deserve, including the insomniacs, especially the insomniacs, because I know that feeling. I deal with it constantly. And then so if you're sleeping, or at least trying to sleep and not getting a lot of it, it's not just the issue of talking about insomnia, because that's an easy title to give it. But in the overall arching thought process of it behind your veteran claim, your VA claim, and claiming insomnia, you truly have to think about when your insomnia started. Because if you think about when your insomnia started, you'll probably come to the conclusion that you're not diagnosed with insomnia, you're diagnosed with something else. So as we get into it tonight, we're going to really talk about some things, especially late night vets, if you're up and awake. So if you're an insomniac, you have to think about why. And I've said it many times. I'll say it again that, I went to Detroit public school, so I'm not the smartest man in the room, but I do know that when it comes to, how do I say, I really want to say this properly because I want you guys to understand what's going on here. The 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. Why is the most important. Before you file your VA claim, you truly have to sit and ask yourself, why am I filing this claim? And if you're not able to answer that question properly, you probably should not be filing it at all. So when I say that the why is the most important of all the questions, it will keep you from falling into a lot of the pit holes and traps that the VA has set for you when you go through your VA claim. And then they expect that a lot of times you're just going to file and fail. That's the goal for the VA. It's that a lot of us veterans just don't know what we're doing. So as you guys come into the room, let me know where you're from and where you're at in your VA journey. I live in Thailand, and I've been here for a year now, officially, since February of last year. And what's up, English Explorer? Good to see you guys as you come into the room. Hey, we're talking to our insomniacs tonight. I know a lot of you are not rated properly simply because you don't know how to explain your issues and symptoms. And a lot of that comes from not understanding that insomnia is not your overall issue. Insomnia is just a symptom. It is a symptom. It is a byproduct of your overall issue. So if you're applying for insomnia with the VA, you have to understand that insomnia is rated as mental health. And all mental health is rated the same. It is rated under the same umbrella. So if you go in looking for insomnia as a VA claim, as a primary VA claim, but you haven't thought about the why, and the why would lead you to more of it's probably PTSD. It's probably MST. It's probably TBI. It's something else that is the root cause of your insomnia. Because when you think about it, what other issues and symptoms do you have outside of insomnia? So at the end of the day, you have to really understand what you're applying for. You must be diagnosed properly. If your issue does not have a title, you can't claim it. You must be diagnosed first. But once you have that diagnosis, Jesse, guys, as you come into the room, let me know where you're from and where you're at in your journey. Then you're not going to get rated properly. It's just the way that the system. It's all right. It's just the way that the system is set up. So, guys, I ask you, if you're up late at night right now, 12 a.m. for some of you, maybe 11, depending on where you're at in the world. Why are you up so late? How often do you sleep? Do you sleep at all? Do you reach REM sleep, REM sleep? If you have not had a dream in weeks, in months, ones that you can remember, these are the issues and symptoms that you must be able to explain to the VA. So guys, as you come into the room, thank you for joining me. Please share and like. I am a 100% P&T veteran living in Thailand, and I want to make sure that any questions that you have tonight, even outside of the VA, I'm here to answer. Can I live in Thailand with 80% P&T? Well, you wouldn't be permitted in total at 80%. Now, 80% is not 100%, so you can't be total at 80%. You can be TDIU, which will pay you at 100%. TDIU is temporary disability or total disability due to individual unemployability, which means you can't work full time. So there's no 80% P&T, but you can live anywhere in the world. To answer your question, 80%, I get you, okay, 80%. You can live anywhere in the world on your VA compensation, on your VA pension if you're retired. The VA will pay you anywhere in the world. I still use my American credit cards and debit cards here. So as long as you're willing to take a little bit of time when it comes to medications, because the VA will not ship you your medications very quickly, especially in say some place like the Philippines or here in Thailand, maybe Vietnam, you can get your compensation anywhere in the world. I know brothers that I have personally helped brothers and sisters that live in the Marshall Islands that get their medication and their compensation, their VA pay. So you can live anywhere in the world and get paid properly. And how do I do my routine check? How do I do my routine check? You can log in. You can log into va.gov. You can log into va.gov and say, hey, I want to do a remote check-in. Now, talking about the actual physical check-in, Manila VA is the closest VA, and that's the only VA currently in Asia. Now, what I'm hearing is that they're going to build another one very soon, but even that's still in the Philippines. So if you're living somewhere else, your check-in would be telehealth. Hey, doc, call and say that everything is Gucci. Or you can be like some of the other vets that I know, travel back to the States. Every now and again, get on a plane, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thank you for joining me. Every now and again, hop back on a plane and travel back to the States. Go get checked up. Go get it all checked up, And the next closest VA is Guam. So you can always go to the Guam VA if you wanted to, or at least register there. You can fly there every year, check in at Guam. So there's multiple ways to get around the issue of checking. Well, the VA also has an overseas medical program. That is correct. Thank you for bringing that up. Mo to the Braun? Okay. The FMP program, the foreign medical program, which they're revamping right now, is getting a bit better because they're no longer sending paper checks. They had backups of 6 months with the paper checks, but now they're making it direct deposit. And a few of them were already direct deposit. You could get it like in your direct deposit from the VA, but a lot of them were paper checks. So they're updating it and making it direct deposit now. But the FMP program is pretty. You got to really know what you're doing with the FMP program. There are a lot of Facebook groups and YouTube information too. That will, keep you on the right path when it comes to being able to do all of that stuff over here. I personally, I go to the Manila VA because my wife is Filipina, even though we live in Thailand, so it gives us an opportunity to go home. I'll be going back. We'll be going back this coming December, and I will be checking in then myself. So, how can I properly get rated for mental health? It feels like yeah, mental health is always the worst. Hurt Mental health is always the worst when it comes to getting rated properly because a lot of us veterans don't know how to explain ourselves. We go in and we want to tell about our pain. We want someone to listen to us about our pain, and that's not what the VA is there for. The VA is there to help you maintain. In that maintenance, no one cares about your pain. It's kind of hurtful to say, because you want someone to listen, and the two words in the title are veteran affairs, right? But you find out very quickly that the VA doesn't really care about you that way. So if you go in talking about your pain, you're not going to get rated properly. But if you learn how to talk to the VA, and if you know anything about me here at D Helps Vets, we throw up the dynasty sign, we throw up the diamond sign. I hope that's not like an Illuminati thing. It's just something I came up with because it looks like a pyramid and it helps me remember. When did it start? What are your issues and symptoms in severity and frequency? And how does it affect you daily? And you should be able to come up with a minute and a half elevator pitch to explain everything that is wrong with you. And you know why you can do that? Because if it's something wrong, you can explain it. But the problem is that we explain it with pain. You want people to listen to your pain, and that's not what the VA is there for. So if you're going to go in for mental health check, you're going to go see a C&P examiner. They're human, just like you and I. A lot of them are civilian, though, so you have to be careful a bit. But in terms of going to see that C&P examiner, when did it start? What are your issues and symptoms in severity and frequency? And how does it affect you daily? And if you can explain your problem, whatever you're diagnosed with, within a minute and a half, you should theoretically get the rating that you deserve. Now, once again, you're dealing with a human on the other end, and humans have biases. Humans have beliefs, and you just got to hope for the best sometimes when it comes to just proving yourself. Now, one thing that we also forget when it comes to the VA is that perseverance usually wins out. And as long as you continue to try and strive, continue to prove what they're asking you to prove, normally, of course, paperwork wins your claim. So contact the VA to set up the overseas medical program. Before you leave the States or wherever you're at, log into va.gov and let them know you're changing countries. You're flying over some waters. Log in and tell them you're not coming back anytime soon. You can do that online. You can call and do that. You can walk in and talk to your provider and tell them, hey, I am leaving on such and such date. I need to switch over to the Guam VA, the Manila VA. More than likely, it's going to be the Manila VA because it is literally the only VA in Asia. So if you're going to be in Asia, but if you plan on going to Mexico or down south or wherever you plan on living, there's multiple VAs in different locations. It's just none in Asia. Does the VA care when I get my exams done if it's different from my address on my driver's license? No, Gigi. You can go see whoever you like as long as if you're willing to pay for it. If you're willing to pay out of pocket, especially here in Thailand, it's very cheap here compared to the States. I took my daughter into the hospital emergency. She'd been stung in the face by something we didn't see, wasp. And we were there in, doctor, medication, out in an hour for $125 US, in and out. You can't walk into some pharmacies and get medication for $125 US. So you just got to understand that things just operate a little bit different over here, which is why I'm always harping on my people getting out of the States, because not only do you have tax-free income. But here in Thailand, it's basically 3 to 1. The baht right now is pretty strong. It's like 29 baht to the dollar. It's usually somewhere closer to 35. So just think about it being like 3 to 1 when it comes to your dollar. So for every $1 that an egg, for every one egg that you can buy with a dollar, you can buy 3. You can buy 3 eggs with $1 over here. You can't buy a dozen eggs in the States for $1 nowadays. So that just should explain to you what your money will do when you're here. So no, they don't care about where you go. You can go to your own doctor as long as you upload that evidence to the VA, let them know what's going on in your treatment. You never have to talk to the VA again if you don't want to. And so you don't need a driver's license to go wherever you decide to go. I get anxiety of losing my benefits. Do you? No, I do not. I do not get anxiety for losing my benefits because I know that my benefits are not only deserved, but I fought so hard for them. It would take an act of Congress. I'm going to be honest. It would take an act of, it would have to be them shutting down everybody for me to lose my benefits. And then, so I hope that if you've game planned properly and you've given the VA all of the evidence and more that they've ever asked for, why would you ever be concerned about them coming to take your benefits? It's just a lot of fear mongering out there. You don't really have to concern yourself with these things. They've been talking about this forever. It doesn't happen. Even the other day with the whole, well, we can reduce your benefits if we find out your medication's working properly. Did you see that go off? Did you see that boom go off? So imagine them saying, we're going to take your benefits? Oh, absolutely not. You're talking about in the streets. In the streets. Do they give you any backlash when you move? No, absolutely not. I walked out of the door. I chucked the deuces. They saluted me and I moved on with life just like them. There's no difference in you living in the States compared to living in the West or compared to living in Asia or the Middle East or Europe or wherever you decide to live, other than you're not going to see as many Americans. But if you look at the States nowadays, excuse me, who's an American anyway? So go where your money's treated best. And it's tax-free money. You do not need to file taxes. It is tax-free money. I have not talked to Uncle Sam in 3 years. Would I advise that? No, I'm not a financial planner. But what I'm telling you is that when you get over here, you find out so many more things that are available to you. Now, eventually, when I go back to the States, I will file taxes, but they'll probably end up paying me. They'll probably end up on me, right? Because I have no income. So with these things in themselves, I just call it even. You don't owe me, I don't owe you. You know, keep it deuces. And why do you choose Thailand over the islands? I chose Thailand because when I was first traveling out of the States, working as a contractor in Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait, I had no idea where to travel to. And I wasn't going to go back to the States every single time. That was a 24-hour haul. So I asked a few people where I should go, where I should visit. And the 2 places that came up, Philippines and Thailand. And so I visited both. And I fell in love with both. And since then, I've traveled to Cambodia, Laos, Taiwan, Japan, many, many places. But I've never found anything so well-rounded as Thailand. Now, I can't say for you exactly what would you choose, you know, but in terms of what I enjoy convenience-wise, safety-wise, if you know anything about Thailand, it is one of the safest places in the world. There is hardly any violent crime on a national scale here. You can Google this. Chiang Mai, Thailand is rated top 5 always in the world of safety. If I had to choose, and I know it's a crazy way of saying it, but if I had to choose anywhere in the world for my wife to walk down the street late at night by herself, it would be Chiang Mai, Thailand. That would be the one place in the world that I can definitely say 100% she'll make it. And even on that level, I'm not talking about her being weak or anything like that. Even myself, I found myself young and dumb in places I shouldn't have been And because Thailand is Thailand, I made it out. So it's one of those things where you find out Thailand is just one of those places in the world. If you're looking for safety, and I value safety, Thailand is that place. Is the VA in Manila Bella? No, I don't even need to read the rest of your question. Nothing in Manila, nothing about Manila's VA is better than anywhere in the world. There's nothing about that VA. So is there anything better than like the US? So what happens is that if you decide to take a CMP exam, you're not going to take it at the Manila VA. You cannot walk, you as a veteran, US veteran, cannot physically walk into the Manila VA without having an appointment. There are armed guards outside that will not let you in unless your name is on that board. So you won't be taking your CMP exam at the Manila VA. You'll be seeing an outside doctor. You can ask for that doctor to be online, telehealth, or you can walk in and speak to someone if that's what you so choose. You can also ask for a male doctor compared to a female doctor if that makes you feel a bit more comfortable. Vice versa for our women out there. So it's one of those things where you're also going to talk to an American because the VA is already third party the CMP exams. So no matter where you're at, you're going to talk to somebody as an American unless you ask to walk in. And thank you guys for the likes and for the shares and for the love. Thank you kindly because I can only preach so much. I want the word to get out there. I want people to know that if it's not Thailand, it could be anywhere else. If it's anywhere else, just outside of the states, just outside of the states, you've been gifted. You've been. I don't want to say gifted because it's deserved. You've been granted the ability to move away and having income every single month. And not only does that income cover all of your basic necessities, but it puts you in close to the top tier of the country in terms of income. So things that you normally would not be able to afford or barely afford in the States, easily obtainable here with that income. So I'm here to preach it. I just bought 2 dozen eggs for $3 here in the state. 2 dozen eggs for $3? Where? Where'd you buy 2 dozen eggs for $3? Did you kill a chicken? Where'd you get that done at? Where'd you buy 2 dozen eggs for $3? Did you kill a chicken? Where'd you get that done at? It wasn't Costco. I know that for a damn. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. My monthly cost, Jericho. It depends on how we spend. Some months we spend a bit more than we should. Some months we keep it pretty chill. So when it comes to the food, the bare necessities for our vehicle, for our home, I would say in total about 27 to about 3,000 US dollars a month. And that's the bare necessities. We're talking food is in the fridge. Like I said, for every $1 home, for every 1-to-1 egg, it's 3-to-1. So we buy 30 eggs. They have 30 eggs for $3, $4 for eggs. It's the food is just cheaper here. Also, at the exact same time, my vehicle is a 7-seater, and I hear most vehicles back home in the States are like $50K now. I couldn't imagine. You got to pay insurance as well. That's absolute insanity. I don't understand. Tinker Air Force Base. Oh, you're on Tinker. What's up, Tink? If you guys are on base in the commissary, yeah, that's different. There are no commissaries out here. So you got to go shopping at the mall or the local market. The local market is super cheap, very, very cheap. I think we spent about $35 to $40 for about 3 or 4 pounds of meat: chicken, beef, fish, shrimp, steak. 2025 Mitsubishi Xpander, the EV version is the vehicle. Something wrong? What's up, brother? Good to see you again. And so it doesn't do anything better for the mileage, though. I still put as much gas in it as door. The gas is still expensive. The gas everywhere in the world, they don't care. The only place that I've ever been that gas was cheap was Kuwait. So there we go. I'm 100% PNT veteran. Woo! We give those Ric Flair woos out here to all of our 100 percenters because I know that mountain. Uh, Congratulations, brother. I salute you because that is a beast. The 100% PNTers out there. Every benefit that you get, congratulations. And SSDI. So I applied for SSDI, but was turned down. And I have to be honest, I did not take it as seriously as I should because I thought it was very similar to the VA version. And when you find out SSDI is all or nothing, there are no levels. I failed miserably. So hopefully soon I'll be able to go back with a better game plan and try again. But when it comes to SSDI, you can't work at all. And I think that after this time of about 4 years, I can go back in my own capacity. And I want to go back to some capacity. About 20 hours, I think, a week is about what I'm looking for. So congratulations on that SSDI too. And the pension. Jesus Christ. Can I live what? Can you live on AK? You could just Google it. I don't want to be I don't want to be rude, Steve, but I'm telling you that our basic necessities across the board here. We have a 7-seater vehicle. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage condo in Paradise, and I spend about $1,900 a month on the two. We spend about an extra $400 or $500 a month on food. Like I said, it's cheap, and we go out and we spend a bit more. We get away with about $3,000 here a month between a family of 4, 2 toddlers and my wife and self. So thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Between a family of 4, 2 toddlers and my wife and self. So thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. AK? Gee, you kind of sound a bit like my good friend, who is also a 100% PNT veteran, who's working 2 jobs online for some reason. I don't know why, but he's bent on saving a certain amount of money before he retires here, before he moves out here also. He's finally going to get on that plane in April and make his way out here. But he spent years. And I'm just like, brah, I don't understand. You make way too much money and you work online. Just do it from here. But I guess he's got restrictions with his job. They'll know if he's using a VPN. And it's, it takes a certain amount that he has to keep secret. So he can't do those types of things. But would I say AK? Oh, please. AK is, he can't do those types of things. But would I say AK? Oh, please. AK is beyond above. That's superstar millionaire status. It's 18,000 US dollars. 18,000 US dollars is about 1 million pesos. So technically I'm a millionaire in the Philippines. I'm just trying to explain it. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, with AK you go anywhere, man. Shit, I don't know where you could go with AK. Yeah, the budget is 3K, but the budget is 3K because we make it so. We shop at their version of Costco for food. The 7-seater vehicle, we could have a 4-seat. There's only 4 of us. So think about it. If you wanted to be even less, you could get away with $1,500 US a month. You got to put it in perspective. This is a family of 4, 2 toddlers. So we've got diapers and milk and food and all those types of things. We've got a 7-seater vehicle in a 3-room condo, and we're doing that at 3K. You got to put it in perspective, guys. What does PNT mean? PNT means permanent and total, which means you do not have the issue of having to go back and talk to the VA again to review your 100%. And there's a misconception out there. There's multiple 100%. There's 5, about 6, but 5 that pertain to veterans specifically, and 3 that are most important. So then there's 100% TDIU, individual unemployability. There is the 100% scheduler, which means they're going to call you back. Somewhere between 3 to 5 years, you're going to come back in and they're going to say, hey, are you still 100%? And then, of course, because you don't want to go back and talk to them again, it's P&T. And P&T means you don't need to talk to them again. But there's a 5, 10, and 20-year rule that also goes into effect as well, because technically they can take it back from you after 5 years, before 5 years, and 10 years as well. But 20 years, you're just so grandfathered in, there's no more going back from that. So sounds great. Thanks for the info. Yeah, absolutely. Plan to sell a house and come on out. I'm coming back. I'm going to take advantage of my VA loan. I want my family to have the ability to be able to travel back to the States and live in the States as well and not be stuck to any one place. Because if you guys can't tell, there's a lot going on in the world, and there's only so many places that you can be where you don't have to worry about things going boom around you at all times. And I'm not judging, I'm not throwing this out here to be political. What I'm saying is that I care more about my family and my family's health than I do about being patriotic. And if it comes down to me moving somewhere where my family can be blessed and safe, that's where I'll be. So if you're selling, good luck. We will be returning, coming back to get it done, but we won't be staying. We'll be there as long as it takes to purchase. I think it's a year. I believe you have to stay in the house for a year before you can refinance. So that's the goal. We'll be there for a year and then deuces again. Hoping to retire in the Caribbean in 5 years. Good luck. I have been to, have I not been to the Dominican? No, I haven't been to anywhere in the Caribbean. I have not even done Jamaica. But the reason I haven't is because when I was young, my mother would travel a lot. And I told myself, listen, I have ego problems. Don't worry about what I got going on in my head. I always made it a point to go out a little further than my mother anytime she traveled. So I haven't been to the Caribbean because she's been to the Caribbean many, many times. So let's see, how similar is the evaluation versus government worker? Tell me again, how similar is the evaluation versus government workers? Tell me again, something wrong? I'm not understanding the context. I need some chapter 35 education. Yeah, I have just started chapter 31 benefits myself. Chapter 35 is for my wife. Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you for the love. The realtor, San Antonio. I was actually thinking about making my way to Texas. I'm scared of Texas. I promised myself I wouldn't go back to Texas after I got out of the Air Force when I left basic training. I said I'll never go back, especially San Antonio. So if I do end up going back to live there, I think San Antonio would be a good place to start. I've heard good things about Austin as well, and a few other places. What's up with the VA there? I hear that the VAs in that area are okay. That'd be nice to check out. I'd like to know, because I have yet to visit a VA that I could say was worth a damn. Ann Arbor in Michigan, Ann Arbor VA is probably as close as it's gotten, but Manila VA, definitely. That's heaven and hell right there. What's up? T-Cut? Take cut that? Oh, that's what's up. How many years did you serve? I did 6. 5 1/4, because at the end when they wanted me to re-up, I was like, you must be joking. And they were like, yeah, we are joking. We want you to get out as quick as possible. And I said, okay, let's do it. I got out on the force shaping program, where they were basically like, if you want to go ahead and go. And I literally separated within 1 month of signing my paperwork. They asked me in August, do you want to get out? And I said, yes. And they said, when? And I said, September 15th. And they said, done. Literally 1 month. They signed up on it. I did nothing. I went through no MEPS. I didn't do any type of doctoring, nothing. And then so on my way out of the door, as they kicked me out, I never even heard of the VA before. Never even heard of the VA. I got out in 2004, and I had never heard of the VA until 2011. Let me know, when did you guys find out about the VA on your way out? I know some of the younger generation, the Gen Z guys and the younger ones, they heard a lot more about the VA, of course, with internet and travel and information and such. But my generation, us ex-millennials, us millenniums, us GWOTs. No, I had no idea. So I went from 2004 to 2011, never heard of the VA. Then someone told me about the VA during an epic meltdown. Thank you for the likes and shares as well, guys. Thank you for the follows as well, because this is what I'm here for, man. We got to be able to talk about these things. And then, moving forward, I didn't even get zero. I put in my claim and they said no. And I said, okay, you guys must know better than I know. So I went from 2013 to 2018 unrated, not even zero rated. And I had things in my medical history that they acknowledged. They said, yeah, you had these problems, but. So fast forward to 2018, I got smart and I took some self-accountability. And I decided that I was going to go get the rating that I deserved. And then, like I said, you find out that when it comes to the VA, it's perseverance. It's all about perseverance. So I want to keep making sure that am I lagging a bit? Sorry, guys. That's one thing that's a problem out here. The infrastructure is not third world, but it's emerging. And then so you will find out that some things that we take very seriously in the States, they don't care so much about out here. And the Wi-Fi is kind of one of those things. Yeah, people want fast Wi-Fi, but they're a lot more family oriented, so they don't worry about those things so much. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because my family and I, we live on the internet, but the Wi-Fi out here for them is not so much of a concern. You should come out here and see their power lines. Google Thailand power lines, and you will find out how much they care about these types of things in infrastructure. So sorry about the lag, but we've got the fastest Wi-Fi and it's still not fast enough. 100% P&T lost left one. Woo, woo, woo. We give those one. Listen, and then to here as well, I don't ever want to make light of the situation, because I know us as veterans, we have a lot of dark humor, and it's the only way we can get past the pain. But congratulations on your 100%, because I know that mountain. I know what it takes to get, like I said, I had never heard of the VA. And then to go from 2018 to finally being rated properly in 2022. Really, the only reason I went from 2018 to 2022 is because I had to. They proposed to reduce me at one point. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. So I had to take it very seriously. So I kind of really accelerated through the process. But knowing another 100% PNT, how long? 10 years? 15 years? Some of us 30 years? Never being rated properly. Dayton, Ohio, what up? What up, Ohio? Oh, no, you said Dayton, VA in Ohio. Listen, I don't believe that. I'm from Michigan. I'm from Michigan. We don't talk about Ohio around here. No, I'm just joking. What's up, brother? Good to have you. And Lackland, hope you never see Lackland again. Oh boy, and I was going through in 99. So it was still concrete. It was still barracks. It was still old school. It was still dirty and grungy. It's still 40 of us in the shower at the exact same time. It was rough. It was rough. And so to leave that state and say, I will never go back again. And so I have, because I've had to land in Texas to stop in other places, of course, but to stay there, I was like, never, never again. Use your VA loan to buy a duplex in Texas near the oil fields. So what I'm being told is that there are a handful of places in Texas that are very well positioned between the good VA hospitals. There's one in particular, I forget the name of it. Is it Tyler? Is it Tyler, Texas? I forget exactly the name, but we're looking to get as much land as possible, because the ideal, the goal is to have a place where veterans can come find peace together collectively. Because as a veteran, we're the only ones that understand each other. And to be able to have another place where you know how you go to the airport and they've got the VSO? I kind of want to do that, but but not at the airport. A place where we can, if the goal is to be rated properly, regardless of if it's 100% PNT, 80%, go get the rating that you deserve. And then so being at Hill and File will not only help you find peace, but we will also be able to help you through the VA process without the outside noise, everything that comes along with what they're going to throw at you, because that's what the VA does. It's like Donkey Kong. They're just going to keep chucking barrels at you until you finally figure out how to jump over them. I want to make sure that I get through all your comments here, guys. What's up? I'm on a terminal leave right now, waiting the results of my claim. That's what's up. And so congratulations on you getting your DD2. Welcome to the club. Because it's a good feeling when you step out. You do miss a lot of the camaraderie, the feeling that comes along with having that purpose. But I tell you, stupid, don't be stupid. Go find some purpose. Go find some purpose outside of the military, because a lot of us, what we do is that the military was all we had, and it's all we're known for. So when we step away from it, we don't know what else to do with ourselves. And a lot of us end up becoming one of the 17. And what I'm saying is that I truly want you to be able to look forward to your future, especially now that you have the opportunity on terminal leave. Don't be nervous. Just make a plan. Have a game plan. And then once you have a game plan for a year, not even 5 years, because that's a lot, have some steps, milestones, and goals along the way so that you obtain what you're looking for. Because that was my biggest issue when I separated, is that I had no purpose. I did not know what I wanted to do. And the only option I had, luckily, was that I had another brother that was already working, and he got me hired in working with him. But other than that, I would have been somewhere much worse off than I ended up being anyway. So I tell you, if you're looking to get out, have a purpose, figure out what you like to do, and go double down on it. Go use your Chapter 31 benefits now that you're getting ready. No. You guys have got the forever GI Bill. You guys have got the forever GI Bill. You can go to school not only for free, but they will pay you a stipend for the state that you live in to go to school. If that's your purpose, go to school and get an obtainable skill that you can translate and use online instead of being physically stuck to a place. Because you will find out in the next 5 to 10 years, honestly, a lot of those jobs that were very underskilled will be completely gone. You got to have a skill that's transferable. You got to have something that you can use online. Got to be. Do you have VA appointments in Thailand? No, there are no VA appointments here, Little Apple, other than online. I schedule my appointments through va.gov. I schedule my medications through va.gov. It's not just, I keep pointing at the laptop like you guys can see it, but you can do it on your phone as well. You can download the va.gov app and do it on your phone as well. You can schedule appointments. You can do lots of things online now. When it comes to the appointments with the VA, though, you can go to your own doctor. You can go to your own doctor, be reimbursed for FMP if you're living out of the country. If you're like me, you don't even feel like dealing with FMP anymore. You're just like, screw that jazz. I'm tired of FMP getting denied because you didn't turn in a receipt that should have said 0 instead of 1. Something simple. Tired of it. I just pay out of pocket. $125 it cost me to take my daughter to the emergency, to see a doctor, to get her medications. We were in and out in an hour. We'll survive. And so when it comes to the appointments, I really don't worry about that type of stuff. I talk to my doctor when we go back to the Philippines once a year. That's it. Everything else I do online. Everything else I type in. When I'm having issues, when my migraines are becoming a problem, I log in with my thumb to va.gov and I tell my doctor in real time what's going on with me. Got out of the Army. At my job, some veterans told me about the VA benefits applied and got 70%. Congratulations, Ian. You know, English, I think I know you've been here before. Brother, good to see you again. You know, it's usually us. It's usually us that tell each other about it. And the reason for that is because they don't advertise it. When was the last time you saw an advertisement about VA on TV? The Super Bowl would be a great place for them to advertise, hey, veterans, come get the benefits that you deserve. We're here waiting on you. How many VA compensation videos have you seen on AFN? You see the propaganda about come join, come be all you can be, but you don't ever see them talking about, hey, come talk to the VA if you're having problems. If you're feeling if you feel like you want to delete yourself today, you should come talk to the VA. Do you ever see that? VA's got a purpose. So we're the only ones that tell each other. It's unfortunate. This is exactly how I found out. And a lot of people believe that you could be an expat with the extra on top of it. There's a lot of mongering that goes on here. A lot of older guys who are in their second childhood that move here. It's anywhere in the world where there's a third world country. Anyone that comes with more money is automatically going to be seen as more attractive. I'm not saying that that's everywhere over here, but in terms of Thailand, it's definitely huge. But Thailand, just like any other country, is bigger than that. If you were to blame California on Compton, if someone was to say, hey, should I go visit California? You say, no, don't do it. I've heard Compton's a horrible place. If you're worried about those types of things, stay out of Pattaya. That's easy. Very easy. Very simple. Stay out of downtown Bangkok. Very simple. I live here with my wife and 2 children, and we live in a community of other families. Lots of families that go to school, that eat, that pray, that do all these things together. So I know there's a lot of information out there about the mongering, but I tell you that this country is so much more than that. And the other countries surrounding as well are so much more than that. So I hope that wasn't your point, but that's the soapbox that I just stood on. So in Tyler, Texas. Is it Tyler, Texas? I heard Tyler is the place. I heard Tyler is the place that you want to be because it's right between San Antonio's like right between. I got to find out. I got to go back and ask my friend again because he lives in Fort Worth. And he told me about the place. And I said, I got to really go check it out. But Texas is going to be hard for me to do because Texas is always on some BS, man. You guys are always losing power because you're not on the power grid. You guys are always talking about succeeding because you're crazy hillbillies down there, man. Texas, I'm going to have to think about this one. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Oh, I never heard of it. She got out of the army. Yeah, that's what happens. Because they don't tell you about this shit. They don't even tell you on the way out of the door. A lot of people only find out because social media is now big, of course. Other fellow veterans, as they get out, they tell you, or you run into them when you work with them, like me. But you're not gonna. They don't advertise. The VA doesn't advertise. But they're getting ready to. They have a budget of $432 billion this year. The VA's budget, annual budget for this year is $432 billion. 4, 3, 2 with a B. You think they want you to have a part of that? You think the VA wants you walking in the door and asking for even 1% of that $432 billion? Absolutely not. So you're not going to hear about it. And they're still not going to advertise. And you're still not going to hear about the Super Bowl. It's unfortunate, but this is why I get on TikTok. It's why I do what I do for veterans. Because I could not leave this earth knowing that the Lord kept me here for a purpose, which is to tell other veterans how to get the benefits that they truly deserve. I don't sugarcoat anything when I come online, and I tell the truth every single time, and I'm 100% PNT for a reason. And a lot of us have tried to self-delete ourselves. A lot of us have succeeded in self-deleting, and I am not above that. And at one point, when I was going through the system, the only way that I found out that the VA even existed was because I was having an absolute complete meltdown in front of other veterans. And I had a veteran come to me and say, you probably need to go talk to the VA. And I said, what's the VA? I thought the VA was a tent with doctors where I was stationed because I had no idea what the VA was. How the women treat me out here. My wife loves me. I hope she adores me. My children. I don't know. Maybe I should go ask her. Maybe I should go ask her. I hope she is cool. She treats me well. Vet living in Panama. Panama. I've not been to Panama yet, but I would love to go to Panama. I would love to go visit and explore Panama. I hear Panama has a lot of good benefits for not only veterans but expats in general. Some people just retiring in Panama. Let me know what's going on in Panama. I hear Panama's getting more expensive now, though. If you're still out there, brother, how do you? Let's see. How do you one stay faithful in a country with so many beautiful? Oh, how do I stay faithful? I don't go outside. I'm 100% P&T housebound. I got bars on the windows. I don't go outside. It's easy. No, I know it's one of those things. I tell you, I would never sugarcoat anything here. When I first met my wife, I was very much in the Leonardo DiCaprio phase. I was still partying hard. And the Lord decided he wanted to bring me somebody to get me to not only recognize that I was having too many issues, but to calm me down as well so that I could truly focus and be able to come online and do these things. Because I knew that I wanted to help veterans and I had done it a bit, but I wasn't doing it in this way. So then the benefits that my wife, we got married very quickly, have brought me far outweigh any strays that may be out there. I recognize the greatness that I have, and she's not even listening, so I'm doing this on my own. I'm also 100% P&T. In about 5 to 7 years, I'll be joining you in Thailand. Woo, woo, woo! Come join. It's not even the dark side. Come join. Well, in Pattaya, there is a place called the dark side. But you come join the dark side because I tell you, the cookies are, it's so much better out here. And so even for me, right? The big three, I call them the big three: food, housing, transportation. If you can figure out how to bring those three down in terms of price, everything else falls into place. You don't struggle so much. But when you're paying $2,500 a month for just your rent, I was paying 50% of my income from the VA to just a room to rent, because I was also renting with a friend. So it wasn't even my place. $2,500 a month. Couldn't do it. So when you're talking about 5 to 7 years, come. Please, well, don't come. Like what did she say, Paul? Hold on. Don't come. Come join us, man, because it's once you get over the hump of having to keep up with the Joneses, spending so much money to survive, man, I tell you, things become so much easier. They do. And that's the goal of Hill and File, is to make it so that we not only survive, but that we start to thrive. Because I know 17 is not the true number. They say we self-deleted 17 a day. That's not true. It's not true. And I know it's not. Because there's lots of us out there that don't write notes before we check out. How do they know? So to say 17 is just it's a medium number. And so for me, my biggest problem in the States was that I could not afford to live there. So when you get the chance, the opportunity to go to a place that you can afford to live, all of that extra calms down. I mean, that's my goal, is to ask me anything about leaving the West, because if I can get you to get out of the country, anywhere, Mexico, anywhere else, somewhere else other than that, soldiers will go into sick call every day. They should. They should go into sick call every day. If it hurts to go to sick call. If you're in right now, you're listening as an active duty, go to sick call. Go to sick call. Because one thing that I did for myself that benefited me after I got denied the first time, was that I had gone to sick call. And when I figured out in 2018 that the VA had denied me for not service connected, even though it was clearly stated in my medical records, my STRs, that I had gone to sick call, I won my claim because I got smart. But lucky me, I actually went to sick call. What about our brothers and sisters out there that don't go to sick call? Go to sick call every day. Go to sick call every day. Because every day they put you through something that you should probably go to sick call for. I can't remember too many days in the military that even when I was having fun, I wasn't still screwing myself somehow. From the cigarettes, the chain smoking, the alcohol consumption, the absolute ridiculous eating that we do, the not sleeping, the insomnia, which is why I'm online right now so I can talk to my brothers and sisters who are up that should be asleep. You're telling me that we don't deserve? Go to sick call every day. Go to sick call every single day. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares, because I truly do appreciate it. I want every brother and sister out there to know, even if it's just 2026, the annual budget for the VA this year is $432 billion. How much of that do you think is allocated to self-deletion? How much of that do you think is allocated to putting systems in place that don't keep veterans from having to go through 30, 40 hoops to get the rating, to get the help that they deserve? The bureaucracy that comes along with the VA, $432 billion. Go get the rating that you deserve. And this is why I'm here. If you need help, if you need assistance getting that 100% P&T, whatever you decide is the level of maintenance that you deserve, please reach out to me. Send me a DM. Just shoot me a DM. I am here to be of service to every veteran and every veteran spouse, every veteran family member, advocate, caregiver, friend, coworker, because nobody else out there understands us but us. And if you're married to one, if you're related to one, if you work with one, you see it on a daily basis and you know what it takes. Go get the rating that you deserve. If 100% P&T is the rating that you deserve, go get the rating that you deserve in 2026. But understand, $432 billion is a big number. If you think the VA wants to give you a piece of that, oh boy, you're highly mistaken. Did you hire a company? No, I did not. I did not hire anyone to help me. I am 100% P&T, SMCS, housebound. I did it all on my own. Now, it took me 15 years. Like I said, I got out in 2004, but hiring someone to help you do this, you don't have to, but it always helps. But you also have to figure out who you're hiring, If you're hiring someone who's asking you for $15,000 to get it done, that might be a problem. But if you're asking someone that does it for free, like a VSO, you're also going to have a problem, because nobody that doesn't have any skin in the game cares about your claim the way that you're going to care about your claim. And a VSO, no matter how helpful they are, will only go so far to see you get 100% P&T. So, did I have a company? Yeah, me and my Lord, because like I said, I've tried to self-delete twice, and he decided that was a no-go both times. He decided that was a no-go both times. And so from this point, it's one of those things where until we all get the rating that we deserve, I got to hang out for a while. Got to be here for a while. And so I hope that if you're joining me tonight, hello and welcome. My name is D. I am a 100% P&T rated veteran, and it is my goal, my purpose in life to make sure that every veteran gets the rating that they deserve. I didn't get to sit call, luckily 100%. And it doesn't take going to sit call to get it done. But I tell you, your foundation is so much more firm, solid if you did go to sit call. If you did go to sit call, these things become less more prevalent when it comes to not service connected. Because how can you say it's not service connected if it happened in service? So that part of them tossing that low ball at you goes out of the window. And they can find other reasons to deny you, of course, but at least that won't be one. I've been thinking about moving there. What's your average monthly cost? About 3K. And I was speaking earlier when I said that it's a family. We're a family of four, and we overindulge a bit sometimes. I enjoy buying things for my children. So about 3K for base. And when I say 3K, I mean the vehicle we drive, the house we live in, and the food we eat. Because for me, the big three are housing, food, and transportation. So if you can lower the cost of all those, what else can't you accomplish? One thing that benefited me was that I was able to pay off a lot of credit card debt. I had a lot of extra money left over, not paying insurance. Because for the vehicle that we purchased, it only cost us 24,000 baht for the year, which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 3,000. It's about 3,000 to 1. So 36912. What is that? $800 for the year for insurance. I was paying $300 a month for insurance, and we have the premium insurance. Premium insurance. Sir, you serve in Iraq? I did not serve in Iraq as active duty. I was there as a contractor for 7 years between Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes, guys. And also, thank you, salute to you as well. You know, one thing, Roblox team, that I always find weird, we as veterans, when we say thank you for your service, and people in us, we veterans say, I don't know what to say back. Why not? Why don't you know what to say? Are you not proud of your service? Did you not accomplish something that most people will never accomplish in their life? Do you know how many people you walk past on the street that never raised their right hand in service for their country? That is something to be proud of. If there's anything that I will ever bring up, is being a veteran. I got a card in my pocket right now that says I'm 100% PNT. So when I don't want to get too far off on the soapbox here, but salute to you as well. And when people say thank you for your service, say thank you for recognizing it. Be proud of your service. Be proud of your service. Can I get approved for major for MDD secondary to tinnitus? There are certain things that are presumptive. That is not one of them. There are certain things that are quietly presumptive. That is one of them. One thing that is quietly presumptive for us as men also is that depression, anxiety, lower back pain, tinnitus, maybe not tinnitus, but so many other things are connected to ED. And then so you don't need a nexus letter to prove ED being connected to lower back pain or to depression, anxiety. These things are silently presumptive. Now, with that being said, will the VA make you go get paperwork to prove yourself? Absolutely. But when it comes to, say, something like major depression to tinnitus, that's very quietly presumptive. And then so if you're going to prove that, it would be best that you did get a nexus letter. But as long as you tell your story properly, when did it start? What are your issues and symptoms and severity and frequency, and how does it affect you daily? Absolutely, you can get approved for MDD secondary to tinnitus. Absolutely. So, amen. Thank you, Becca. Thank you. Hey, Becca, what's up? Guys, good to see you. I know some of you have been here before. Good to see you again. My dad says thank you for Absolutely. Thank you for your service. And I tell you, I know you said your dad. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, if he's a bit older than me. I truly do have a special place in my heart for our Vietnam vets. So if he's a Vietnam vet, tell him absolutely thank you for your service. Because I've spent a lot of time in the VFWs, talking to a lot of Vietnam vets. Of course, the GWs are there too, but the Vietnam veterans are the ones that spend a lot of time in those VFWs. And I tell you, the stories, man, the stories. So I hope that as a veteran, thank you for your service as well, but especially if he is a Vietnam veteran, especially. But it affects the social and occupational needs. So it does. All these things. I always say the mental health bone, the neck bone is connected to the mental health bone. Your mental will manifest itself physically. You will break out in highs from things. Your mental will manifest itself physically. And then and vice versa. So if these things are happening to you, a lot of that flows into your environment. May it be hiding away from your family, your friends, may it be from deciding to not go to work some days. So if it's not just the social side, it definitely could be the occupational side where you just like, screw that jazz. I am not going in there today. I'm not going in there because I may truly hurt somebody. And then so when you really put that together and you really start thinking about those things, you say, whoa, when did it start? When did this start? Did it start from MST? Did it start from PTSD? Is it from the GERD? Is it from the migraines? When did it start? You got to remember these symptoms, they're different than your actual issue. I don't want you applying for insomnia, anxiety, MDD, depression. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. When did it start? And if you think about when it started, you'll probably think it's something closer to PTSD. It's probably somewhere closer to MST or TBI, mentally usually. And even if it's not a qualifying event, if you weren't in the Pentagon during 9/11, if you weren't in combat in Iraq, then it was a gradual descent for you. It does not matter. When did it start? And as long as it started while you were in the military, you deserve every benefit you deserve. When you joined, you said, I give. And a lot of times you forget that the military said, we will do in return. We will do in return when you get out. That's what the VA is there for. Ford doesn't have a VA. Who else in the industry? Think about any other big industry corporations that still have, when you get out, we will still take care of you. A lot of that stuff went out of the window with the 401k, but the VA is still there. There's a reason for it. When you raised your right hand, they said, we're going to compensate you for everything we break while you're in. And for some reason, we keep forgetting that. You know why? Also because they don't advertise. You don't see the VA online. You don't see them dudes popping up in the advertisements. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. What are some things that I could claim while I'm active duty? Everything. What's one of my favorite movies? Oh, I forget the name of it right now. Why can't I say the name of it right now? Was it The Assassin? Someone tell me what the movie is. Everything. Bring everyone. Claim everything. I'm exaggerating. What's wrong? What's wrong? I went to Detroit Public Schools, so excuse me if I'm not the smartest man in the room. But if you know the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, you will know why is the most important question. You have to ask why. So what are you claiming? There we go. Back and knees. Okay, then so now you know what you're claiming. When did it start? When did your back and knees start to give you problems? Were you in service? If you can put a date on it, 2001. When did it start? Once you establish that base of when it started, what are your issues and symptoms and severity and frequency? Boot camp. There we go. Just like the majority of us. Just like the majority of us, boot camp. And then so if you say, what are my issues and symptoms? Well, my knee gives out on me. I stand up and my knee turns into Bambi. I buckle. Or I overcompensate because my left knee is bad. So I overcompensate on my right knee. Well, when did it start? Well, it started because of my left knee. Well, shit, that's a secondary claim. So if you've got one bad knee, you probably got two bad knees. That's bilateral knees. So now we know what we need to be diagnosed with. Ah, exactly. We know what we need to be diagnosed with. You must have a diagnosis. So when you say, what can you claim? Well, what are you diagnosed with? Are you diagnosed with PTSD? Are you diagnosed with migraines? Are you diagnosed with arthritis of the knee? Structural damage of the knee? For me and my lower back, which is one reason why we're getting ready to disconnect. I love that you guys are here with me tonight, but I got to get up and get ready to stretch. My lower back. And then, so what's wrong with your lower back? What are you diagnosed with? An L5 strain, arthritis, disc, flattened disc, or whatever it may be? What are you diagnosed with? Okay, then, so now you know what you're diagnosed with in your lower back. When did it start? Did it start while you were in service? Did it start while you were in boot camp? Okay, what are your issues and symptoms and severity frequency? Well, let me tell you mine. I can't sit for more than an hour and a half. I have to get up and either go walk and or lay down, because I'm eventually going to go lay down for about 30 minutes, about 45 minutes. I got to pop pills and I got to lay there. I got to put the TENS unit on my back. I got to put the lidocaine. I don't know if you can see. It's always somewhere close. She's always somewhere close. I got to put her on my back. The Tiger Bomb. And then, so now that I have explained that I go from this to this to this, how does it affect me daily? Well, I have a hard time walking upstairs. It takes me a long time to get out of my vehicle. A lot of times in the morning, it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to get out of bed, because I'm just that stiff. I have a hard time picking up my children for long periods of time. I know what the muscles say, but they're all for show, because the arms look good, but the back is trash. I'm just being honest with you guys. So with those things, when did it start? What are your issues and symptoms and severity and frequency, and how does it affect you daily? And if you can't tell your story within a minute and a half, you're not going to get the radiance you deserve. So then when we talk about your lower back, your knees, what are you diagnosed with? If it's bilateral knees, when did it start? What are your issues? How does it affect you? You got to go talk to a CMP examiner and tell them the exact same story. What are your worst days? What happens on your worst days? Now, also understand, we're not just here to complain because you're talking to a human. No human wants to hear you talk about how you never get out of the bed, even though they clearly watched you walk into the office with no problems. You got to be able to tell your worst days, because that day might not be your worst day. If you're normally operating at a 5 like me, when you take your medication, if on your worst days you're an 8, you have to be able to tell the story of an 8. What happens? So I really, at the end of the day, learning the language of the VA will save you so much trouble, pain, issue, because you won't need to ask questions like, well, what should I apply for? You'll already know the answer. You'll know that you've been diagnosed with something. Well, what are you diagnosed with? I tell you guys, really, because I got to get up. This is about that time. I appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. But the back is on the 5 o'clock alarm right now. Thank you for the likes and the shares as well too. Unless you learn how to speak the language, you're not going to get the radiance you deserve. And if you're not sure what that language sounds like, reach out to me. Send me a DM. We'll discuss it. We'll get you to a point where you truly understand how to speak the language so that you can apply it to getting the rate that you truly deserve. That's my goal. Was injured in 89 in Marine boot camp. Okay. Then Gulf War, got out 93, took until 20. Woo! Congratulations, those Ric Flair woos. Boy, I tell you, when it comes to 100%. Oh, it's Steve again. You're just repeating yourself. Okay, but Steve. Woo. Congratulations, because I tell you, I know 100%. I do. I'm squirming here now. I want to sit here and talk to you guys all day. I can't. I got to get up and go. So thank you for joining me. Like I said, tonight was just an impromptu. I didn't really plan on being here tonight, but I can clearly see that I need to do this more often, especially for my insomniacs, because I'm not going to sleep tonight. I already know I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep maybe around 11, 12. I'll be up by 2, 3 at the latest. And then even in between that time, I'm up. I'm awake. I turn over. I wake up. The pain. I know what it feels like. And then so even when it's not the pain, the mental that comes along with it, like I said, the neck bone is connected to the mental health bone. The major depression that comes, the MDD, the anxiety, all those things that come along with it. I want to see you guys get the ratings you deserve. So I will do this a lot more often. Hopefully I'll get a new chair here. I bought a new chair, but the new chair was too rock hard. So now I got to go buy a whole new chair again. But I plan on doing this a lot more often, guys. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Like I said, please send me a DM, even if it's not about the VA. If you're just tired of the West, if you're tired of the West and just trying to get out, let me know. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you again. Peace. Take care.